Daryl Halligan, Michael Hancock. The centres, Jared McCracken, Mal Meninga. David Watson, Brad Fittler. 5/8, Tony Kemp, Laurie Daly. Halfback, Gary Freeman, Alan Langer. Front row, C.E. Solomona, Glenn Lazarus. Brent Todd, Paul Harrigan. Hookers, Dwayne Mann, Steve Walters. Second row, Gary Mercer and Paul Sirinen. Gavin Hill and Bob Lindner. And the locks, Tawara Nico and Bradley Clyde. The coaches, Howie Tamati and Bob Fulton.
One world of sport, live at the Palmerston North Showgrounds for the second Rugby League International. New Zealand against Australia. Let's join our coverage.
It has been building now for quite a few years. They are starting to threaten the international stage. The atmosphere here, everything is building rather dramatically. They will walk out as national heroes. Lowy, this is a rather deliberate and slow walk, but an awkward entrance for the players. That's a disgrace.
It is. It's very difficult. The players have got to concentrate at this stage. They've got to try and keep their minds on the job. Very difficult to do when you are being pushed and shoved around. Even other people want you to do well. There's a time and a place for it. Not out there now.
Fantastic atmosphere, the second test. The two Canterbury men, McCracken and Hill, wish each other the best. Meninga to steady the World Championship. Try and find a true course after the opener at Mount Smart Stadium. Halligan, what a role he might play in the wet with his kicking. Any chance at goal might be a winning one. And just as important, Mr. Russell Smith, the referee from Great Britain. It's a packed house. Halligan to get us underway. Sit back and enjoy. Willie Kahn with the first touch. They will pour in inside the 20. All mistakes absolutely vital in this area tonight. Langer to dummy half. Away to Harrigan. Just how important will it be for the Australians to get over the advantage line? Russell Smith did not like a high swinging arm, and Harrigan resented it just as much.
Well, a lot of intensity straight up for Tony Kemp. Put him to strengthen the inside backs, but that's not the way to do it for Mr. Kemp.
Fittler gets it out near halfway for the Australians. Lazarus creates some damage behind the line and takes them 40 metres out. Sirinen running across the run. He puts Nikau back. That is the get square from the first test. Lindner, the Australian forwards, trying to take over from the start. Langer looking for runners. Harrigan wants some more. They're gaining good ground from each play the ball. Quickly out of Steve Walters looked for support but could not unload. Langer in behind the line, off the knees. What a pick-up from Kent. Where's the support? Here comes Hubbard. That gives you an idea of just how much water is lying about. Penalty had to come. Here comes Halligan. Right from the start. The bounce of the ball sets up nicely. And New Zealand with a real break.
Well, fantastic skills here. Good kick from Alfie Langer, but it hit one of our players. Tony Kemp has already paid for his room with that pick-up. He gave us a good advantage, gained a quick 50 metres. Didn't quite get the ball out to show to Hoppy, who was looming up on his outside. But the thing is, it's forced the penalty, and it's given the Kiwis the opportunity of 2 points.
Just outside the 20. And Halligan will try and continue his incredible sequence of goals. Darryl Halligan ensconced with the North Sydney lineup, and a man who has a percentage of 88%. What a record. Halligan, about 11 metres in from the sideline, trying to bring the house down early. What a start. What a goal kicker. New Zealand grabbed a break. 2-0. The restart for the Australians. Some of them looked offside from that kickoff. Solomon, head down, charges straight in. Right on the 20. Todd, straight up to middle. Now they look back for the kick. Looking out wide for the sideline. Shearer has to chase and steady his own feet. He returns the favour. We are set for a kicking duel here if Morven Edwards keeps his cool. He does. Doesn't quite meet it as he would have liked. The Kiwis have to stay 10 metres back. They're not. Shearer nearly could have milked it for a penalty, but he goes to some wide open spaces. That's a good kick. Back to his own line, Edwards. Gets support from Halligan. The Australians are cribbing. They're picking up metres. They win on points.
Well, it was a great kicking duel, that. But I'm pleased to see that Halligan got back for New Zealand's sake, because Shearer had the better of that kicking duel. But with Halligan coming in, certainly relieved the pressure off the New Zealand line.
Michael O'Connell just watching Shearer. They really have been checking the footing, both teams.
There's no doubt about that. A very tentative start from Australia. I mean, that kick from Alan Langer wasn't a good one. They've really got to stand some authority shortly in this game.
Daly tries to do it. That kick will be too long. I was about to say way too long. It stopped dead. Unbelievable amount of water in the in goal. Interesting, this kick.
Yeah, it just looked like a kick that had too much juice on it. It looked like it was going out of the ground, and as we see there, just rolled on the dead ball line.
It was nearly real dangerous for Morven Edwards. Now, New Zealand, 35 out from their own line. Solomona as a decoy went left. They stayed on the right-hand side. Now another kick. Halligan forced to go to his left boot. Shearer thinking again about the kick. Waltzes a couple of steps, then he decides to run. Now he will force all his forward pack to try and hurry back to get behind him. Bradley Klein. Bobby Redner. Langer to Harrigan. They switch back to Fiddler, trying to set himself for a sidestep. Langer. Plenty of time with the kick. He decides on a midfield bomb. The Kiwis fly high and come up with it. Hoppy off his wing, crunched over the top by Sirinen, loses the ball back. Halligan, taken by Fiddler. This is the dangerous area. Todd out near the sideline. Solomona, one out, but right up the middle, slips a good ball. Freeman to Nikau. They thought there was a chance if they could get it out wide. Difficult ball, kept alive by Kemp, now inside. Last tackle. Mercer kicking. Not a good kick. They give it back to the Australians already near halfway. Shearer gets a call to go wide. Early tackles. Clyde back inside to Fiddler. Good open play from the Australians, even in these conditions. Lazarus. Langer wants to go to the back line, but Hancock off his wing. Good gain from him. He looks to get on with things quickly and milks it for the penalty. Crowd don't like it, but it's reminiscent of Jared McCracken last Sunday at Mount Smart, who was just as clever in picking it up 2 or 3 times from the referee.
Good play from Australia. They've had a number of quick play the balls. New Zealand was trying to slow it down. With very good work then from Michael Hancock. Knocked a good penalty for Australia in a vital time out in front of the post.
Hancock, the man that milked it. Already this big crowd at Palmerston North putting the heat on Shearer. If you can on a night like this. .32 out. He's looking down the barrel at the post. Looking for 2 to square accounts. He does not meet it at all. A huge roar. Scoreline remains as it was. 2-0 New Zealand. Restart from the 20 for the Kiwis. Halligan does well to get this one on the fly. 30 out from the Australian line. Sirman tries to smash right through. He gets to the 50. Steve Rollers was left alone. 2 quick plays and they're back in Kiwi territory. More of a roll through Bobby Lindner as New Zealand drop off some tackles. Langer, Daly, inside to Meninga. Great tackle down low. That was Freeman. The spread is on for Langer. The change of direction again. High tackle. And another chance for Shearer. Russell Smith maintaining the consistency.
Yeah, Gary Mercer was up very high on that shot, and the players have just got to realise this referee is going to penalise this week for high tackles. Last week there was complaints from both coaches about the high tackles that went unchecked, and the holding down penalties were there. Now the high tackle penalties.
The penalties, 3-1 Australia. Dale Shearer. Unsuccessful just a minute ago. 27 years of age, Shearer. A professional footballer, the fullback from the Gold Coast. Again, he's looking down the barrel. Trying to pick up 50%. This time he will. Shearer nails it. And the Trans-Tasman neighbours 2 apiece.
Unlike the oven on the left, the Bosch oven cooks great meals time after time and offers German quality you can...
Kiwis. Halligan. And a pretty confident start for both sides in the fact that the mistake rate really with the hands is remarkably low so far, John.
Yeah, they've controlled the ball really well. The penalties is thing now. Both teams need to try and play out 6 tackles without giving away a penalty, and especially these kick-off things, you know, where the other team needs to get out of their own half. You don't give away a penalty when you're down there.
40 metres out from the Australian line. Clyde takes on Solomona. Wondering if the Kiwis might just have a little problem out there with John Lomax warming up sideline. Halligan knocks it down. Daly rushes in once he played at that. Watson. There's the mistakes. There were few, but that is the area that might cost somebody. Right near their own 20.
Graham, if there was a criticism of Australia in the first test, apart from their ball handling, it was that they didn't offload the ball enough, not as many times as New Zealand. New Zealand have shown early in this game that they are prepared to offload in the forwards and the backs, and they're prepared to chance their arm.
Well, the draw suited Australia in the first one. Now they chance it. McCracken with a punishing tackle. He cops some treatment as he tries to get to his feet, but that was beautifully read by McCracken.
Great tackle by Jared McCracken. The New Zealand outside backs are going to have to be careful because Laurie Daly is drifting across the field, changing the angle of the support players. Meninga coming on the inside and also having the option of Daly. A dangerous area that New Zealand's going to have to be wary of.
Langer. Here's another. Sirenen, great support play. Right in front of the post, the Kiwis stretched. First real chance for either team. Langer stepping, bobbing and weaving. With the big hands of Gavin Hill puts him down. Last tackle. Shearer called on the shorter side. Were they all onside? Halligan back into his own in goal. Great recovery.
A super play from Dale Shearer. He read that perfectly. 5th tackle, put it to the in goal, and another set of 6 tackles for Australia.
Yeah, we saw in the last test, Dale Shearer went for a long pass on the 6th tackle. He smartened up a little bit, learned his lesson, and kicked the ball into the in goal. Good move.
Unfortunate for Halligan. He trapped that ball about a metre or more out from his own line. He ended up about 6 metres into the in goal. Bradley Clyde went into the first test with a doubt over his right knee. Got through the game strongly. Meninga, a doubt about his back injury. That is a good tackle coming off his wing from Hoppy. The Australians with a good flow of possession. Harrigan standing wide, taken by Gavin Hill, low, and Mercer over the top. Langer smartly trying to keep things alive. He's looking for the plays quickly. Back once again as Langer too to take over. Going wide to Clyde. But they were standing still when they took that one, a bit flat-footed. Easily picked off by the Kiwis. Last tackle. Short side for Meninga to work with Willie Kahn. He's great in the air. Knocked back by Kahn, and Morgan Edwards has the dregs. Now he calls a knock-on against New Zealand. Russell Smith has got it wrong. What a vital call.
This was a crucial call. No way in the world that was a knock-on against the Kiwis. Very hard done by them.
Langer with the scrum feed. The Australians on the attack. Daly. Meninga again on the inside. The Kiwis have been under pressure for a long time. Plenty of possession for the Australians. Langer, 15 metres or more wide from that play of the ball. Daly. Shearer needed one more pass. They still keep it alive to Fittler. Fittler out to Hancock. Hancock taken. 3 Kiwis across in cover. overstretched. They headed towards the post, the Australians. The chant going up around the showgrounds in Palmerston for Kiwis. Daly kicking. It is too deep again. They survive and they handled it well.
New Zealand did handle that well. That was probably the best defensive effort that New Zealand has come up with so far in the 1 1/4 test that we've been able to watch. They have been under enormous pressure, but they stuck together. They back one another up. Halligan in particular over on the right wing is working very, very hard, but New Zealand has got to gain field position. They can't keep out much longer.
John, a real confidence booster for New Zealand. That tough passage of play where Australia had a mile of possession, and look at this.
Yeah, I think they did very well there. The ball in the air is going to be a problem, though. I thought the New Zealand fullback knocked that ball forward, and you know, if they put mistakes in like that, the Australians get 12 tackles on them. You know, something usually gives.
Fine kick. Still, possession will come for Australia, though. 45 tackles overall for the Australians. And now a penalty on the end of this. Tony Kemp gives away another one. Russell Smith says for holding down.
Yeah, you just can't afford to get good field position like Graham was talking about before and then give it up. And every time you give away a penalty when you get down there, whether it's early or late in the tackle count, it's just unplayed.
Freeman was arguing with the touch judge that one was touched before it went over the sideline.
Graham, I think it's very important for New Zealand, from New Zealand's point of view, that one or a couple of those forwards have got to come up with a big hit.
Look at the break from Steve Waters, right up the middle. Nearly got away. They are only 8 metres out. Harrigan throws himself at the line, 5 metres away.
The New Zealand forwards are waiting back. They've got to move up.
Clyde quickly to Langer, to Daly. Daly tries his own talents, tried to back himself, but great defence. Meninga calling for runners. Langer ducks. Sets the ball up to Shearer, who's staying in the line. They're down to the last. Daly to Meninga. Widner to Clyde. Just too much pressure. Too much possession. And as professionally done as you could ever hope to see by the Australians. They had the numbers, they worked it to grab the first try.
Great passage of play this by Australia. Alfie Langer did a lot of work early on, but Laurie Daly getting the ball away quickly there to Meninga, having forwards running out in the backs as support players. That's what they've been able to bring the try about for them. Very, very professionally done.
Yeah, Australia just had the numbers out here. Too many players, and the execution was good. Caught Hoppy out of position, and like I said, New Zealand just didn't have the defence out wide.
Yeah, simple weight of possession. You'll find that New Zealand have had to do a lot more tackling than Australia in this first stanza of the game, but just good ball movement there. Sean Hoppy didn't know what was going on, turned inside out, and Willie Kahn was still on his outside, so men to spare.
Bradley Clyde grabs his 4th try in Test football against New Zealand.
He's had a far more impact in this Test than he did in the first 20 minutes of the first Test, Graham.
Certainly has. Shearer. About 5 metres in from the sideline. 50% so far. Difficult angle and all. He will have to start it all over again. The Australian bench, umbrellas in hand, doing their best to stay warm. They all watch on intently as Shearer tries to bring this one round. It is on its way. Sensational goal. The world champions stretch it to 8-2. This big crowd goes a little quiet as the Australians grab the real first break. Halligan with a restart. Willie Kahn. No territory at all. Nothing down the end other than the early penalty and goal for New Zealand to show.
The ground field position, that's the key. That the New Zealand forwards are waiting. The Australian forwards are on top at this stage. They're coming from a deep position, hitting the ball on the advantage line. The New Zealand defence is just waiting back for them. A run like that, even though it doesn't look much, it's gained them 2 metres over the advantage line. Very, very important.
Charge down. There could be 6 more. New Zealand knocked this one on. They couldn't grab it back. Still they look for the ball. Still they look for possession in the Australian side of halfway.
Yeah, here we see Australia's kicking the ball from fairly shallow, and as Dwayne Mann comes out of the line and knocks it down. But that's a tough break for New Zealand. Again, Australia get another 6.
A bit of a concern for Australia in the fact they don't have a backup kicker. They're just using Dale Shearer at the moment. No support.
Daly inside the Meninga. Possession in the opposition half, quite unbelievable. Simple and single tackle only for the Kiwis.
And normally, you'd think with that much possession in the opposition half, Australia, with the talent they do have, would have been further in front.
Langer. Lazarus drags defenders inside the 40 metres. Steve Walters is creating trouble from dummy half. He is sending them and turning them around quickly all the time. Langer in behind the line. The Australians still have it, and they've got 6 more. New Zealand really under pressure. 11 metres out. Langer very wide to Daly. The ball is clear. Halligan had an opportunity, I thought, to kick that ahead. He was the first man easily to the ball.
Bit of a decision there from Daryl Halligan. I think that he wasn't certain what he was going to do, whether he was going to kick it or just try and pick it up. But in the end, his technique let him down. New Zealand once more right under the hammer.
More possession. Shearer is living in the front line. He cops a high one from Watson. Linder, the forwards from Australia, always quick to the play of the ball. Clyde, stepping. Strong tackle, head on from McCracken. He got assistance over the top from Dwayne Mann. Langer. 3 defenders. Grab Langer right on the 20. Meninga takes over, chipping ahead for Daly and finds open space. Halligan does a little bit of a dance on his own line. Walked a tight rope. Managed to get back into the field of play. Edwards. They are being forced back into their own in goal. Now, Daly was never onside as the marker, but New Zealand come up with a real pressure play. Hoppy. Battle of inches at the moment for New Zealand. Gavin Hill takes it outside the 20, but they are run out of tackles. Halligan tries to get it away from Shearer, but once again the Australians already in New Zealand territory.
New Zealand defence has been working overtime, but it's got to try and lift up a gear, get into another cog and force an error. Some of the Kiwi forwards, or at least one of the Kiwi forwards, has got to come up with a big aggressive hit and try and stun this Australian side. They've got too much of a roll on.
Lazarus continues the roll. Langer does out wide to Daly. Inside to Meninga. Meninga down to the last line, getting rid of defenders left, right and centre. If you wanted an answer about the back injury, it's okay.
Put that down to Glenn Lazarus. He's making great yards up the middle, and he's getting onto his feet very quickly.
Langer to Daly. Daly floats it. Difficult ball, sits up nicely in the end for Hancock to step and go right through. New Zealand once more back to their own line. Last tackle, Langer behind the line, it's still a chance. Beautifully grabbed, great play from Hoppy. Hoppy's in trouble though. A penalty for New Zealand at a time when they were desperate.
Yeah, Alan Langer put a little ball around the back, and Sean Hoppy, very brave there, dives in on that ball, and you know, no two minds about it, straight in on the loose ball.
Also, they had numbers again, Australia, if the ball had have set up. New Zealand, understandably, are tiring under all this possession for Australia. Hoppy is okay as Todd just hits it up. It'd be ironic if they cross the 50-metre line. Solomon takes them there, somewhere where they probably can't remember being before. Gavin Hill likewise, down to the 40. They've soaked up the heat at the other end. They want a chance down here. Freeman cross-kicking to Shearer. Taranikow is coming. Shearer takes it well. Now it's Australia. Right down inside their own 10.
And these next three tackles are the most important New Zealand's had to come up with at the moment, because they're in the right end of the field for the Kiwis. They've got to be able to back it up with defence.
Good run from Clyde. Once again, Steve Walters, it is 8 or 10 metres every time he goes.
And he is playing perfect with the football.
Yeah, I think the New Zealanders are making a mistake by not getting on him.
Fiddler tries to set it up for Hancock. He knows the pass just wasn't quite on, but they nearly had them out wide.
Bit of a concern for New Zealand. Little Alfie Langer goes around Brent Todd as if he's not there.
Langer's having a big first 40.
Well, that's because the New Zealand forwards in particular are standing back. They're waiting.
Gary Freeman down for attention.
I think the thing about Steve Walters getting out of dummy half, I mean, that's where the New Zealanders have got to look at. They've got to say, we've got to stop this dummy half running, because it's no good a player firing out of the marker position to the first receiver if the dummy half can run. Number one job, stop the dummy half runner.
This is likely to be Freeman's final test match on home soil. Everyone's expecting him to retire at the end of the Kiwis tour of Great Britain this year. Freeman. Watson. The cracker runs to the gap, but Willie Kahn comes off his wing as we go inside the last 10 minutes. Mercer.
John mentions the dummy half running of Steve Walters. I think Dwayne Mann's got to do the same sort of thing. That is how they get the roll on.
He was listening, but he doesn't have the same sort of success.
New Zealand must run in numbers. They're running one out at the moment. The Australians are taking the ball up with options, and New Zealand aren't.
Brent Todd was in front of the kicker. The rest were not. McCracken, can he get it back? He takes it over the sideline. They just couldn't control it in the end, but they are cross-kicking. Second time they've gone from the right to the left.
Yeah, it's another cross kick for Hoppy's wing, and the ball in the air, the ball on the ground, it's all going to be trouble for wingers and fullbacks trying to come up with the ball.
Shearer comes up with it from the scrum. Langer switches it. Heard a call from Daly. The Australians playing good football in difficult conditions.
But they have had things their own way so far, Graham. They've had a very good start to the game. They have played ideal weather football, and the Kiwis have got to put them under pressure and see how they handle the situation.
New Zealand can't get a flow of possession. Clyde, a little bit of a mix-up. Sirenen there to pick up the dregs. Last tackle. The kick will allow plenty of chasing time. It was perfectly placed. Edwards, driven sideways by Meninga. Freeman, run around with Hoppy. New Zealand looking to the break. Willie Kahn and Freeman with a bit of a disagreement as Todd takes it to the line. Solomona looking to take on the big Australian pack. 40 metres out from his own line. A real mess in the play of the ball. It comes back for Gavin Hill to strongly go into Australia's half. Last tackle against New Zealand. Freeman, this time, he splits Hancock and Shearer. Down to the end goal. Hancock will have to play at it. Halligan's got him, only metres out. Shearer takes his time to allow his team to get back. Russell Smith will ask for somebody else to play it. No, he doesn't need to. Klein.
Good enthusiastic chasing out of the marking from the Kiwis. That is better defence.
Lendner. Steve Walters grabbed. It is only just outside the Australian 20 as they will look to Shearer. Didn't quite get a good kick in. Halligan has it. This might be about the best chance in the first half for New Zealand. Freeman. Edwards. Stepping, trying to get to the inside of Meninga, but Langer was there. Freeman goes back the other way to Kemp. Kemp looking wide, couldn't get it there. Right on halfway, New Zealand. Freeman looking for a runner inside the Australian defence everywhere. Sheridan hurt in the tackle. Solomona takes a strong tackle down low from Harrigan. One more left for New Zealand. Dwayne Mann kicking, but it goes straight to Hancock. And Hancock goes clear. Hancock will take on Morgan Edwards. Caught from behind by Mercer. Penalty to the Australians. They try and catch them out wide. Daly, New Zealand in real trouble. One bad kick, and they have put themselves under pressure. Great run from Hancock. Langer inside. Sirenen. Sirenen inches away. Steve Walters to Langer. To Daly. To Meninga. To Clyde, who grabbed the first try. Back in. Was Meninga in a field goal? Doesn't matter. Willie Kahn grabs the second try as the world champions gain a very big advantage. Kahn picked up the loose ball. They were stretched.
Well, they've been stretched down the left-hand side of the field. Good backline play now. Australia creating havoc, having Bradley Clyde run out amongst the backs. That's the key. He's been looming up out there all the time. The ball knocked down by Kemp there. Regained there by Willie Kahn. A good, fair Australian try.
Yeah, here we see the ball coming nice and wide. I thought Willie Kahn was a little slow to come off his wing. I thought he was needed on the inside a little earlier than that. The ball was knocked down by a New Zealand player, and Willie Kahn in.
Willie Kahn grabs a bit of spray. 24 years of age, Kahn, and his third try against New Zealand. The winger from the Brisbane Broncos. The crowd, not a lot to cheer about for New Zealand, since the possession has continued to favour the Australians. Shearer will have this kick from a very similar position to the conversion of the Bradley Clyde try. 2 from 3 for him. Can he do it again? He will not. He leaves it out wide, but the Australian captain has a good, confident eye on the board. 12-2. New Zealand back to halfway, and Graham Lowe shattered by the second try, that one by Khan.
Yeah, well, it was a big blow against the Kiwis, but they've got to respond. They've just got to respond. I've mentioned a couple of times already, the New Zealand forwards have got to come up with big hits. They've got to come up with good driving defence, because the Australians are getting on top round the middle. They're playing good wet weather football, hitting it on the advantage line, getting the roll on. They've got the Kiwis under pressure in that area, and they've had it all game.
Steve Walters, again a hitter. Missed tackles. 10-0, a shutout in that area.
That to me was the main concern going into this game. Their defence in the first game, I believe, wasn't up to it, but they can come right. They have been under enormous pressure. They've just got to get themselves back into the game and inspire one another.
Langer. Now, the penalty might go to Australia, or does it? Langer was suggesting he took a forearm, but Russell Smith said no, the Langer tackle was too high. At least he's consistent in an area where both camps are looking for him to be strong.
Yeah, here's Alan Langer. He's not very big, Alan Langer, so he must have had to get up right up on his toes to execute a tackle like that. Got to keep your tackles down.
John, I think New Zealand's just got to lift their intensity a little. They seem to have dropped off. That last try, without any doubt, shattered them. And all it's done is, all the penalties there going 5-3 in Australia's favour. But Australia has stepped up a gear throughout the game as it's gone on, and New Zealand's dropped down.
Well, earlier we saw the tackles in the opposition half, 33 to Australia and 1 to New Zealand. And that sort of thing, as you said at the time, it wasn't having a great effect. But later in the game, the legs start to get tired and those sort of stats start to come home.
The penalties will get a little closer. New Zealand with the chance to go down deep. We are but seconds away from the half-time break. New Zealand. Russell Smith stops the clock. Todd. They may not have enough time for the full set of 6, New Zealand. Just outside the 20. Freeman. McCracken. Just outside the 20 still. Mercer gets away from Linda, does not get away from Serena. Freeman trying to rush it. They know they are running out of time. Kent, good quick hands. Nikau out wide. Taken and put down by Daly. Last tackle. They will just get it in. Freeman forces the knock on from Meninga. Gavin Hill and Meninga come together.
Well, finally something's gone New Zealand's way, but that's because they've been able to hang on to the ball. They've had Australia under a bit of pressure, forced an error there. I think I might have seen a little bit of a knee going in that situation as well.
Well, our clock appears to be quite wrong at the moment as Kent goes to the end goal. Willie Khan just puts it dead. Clever variation. They haven't had much possession, and Willie Khan comes up with the save of the night.
But you can do these sort of things when you do have field position. That's why the Kiwis have got Australia under pressure at the moment. But great work then to defuse it.
He beat Watson, and now the clock finally does beat New Zealand. Impressive first half to the world champions, the Australians. Had a strong scoreline their way. 12-2. Very impressive, as I said, and both teams to enjoy the break here on an extremely cold night in Palmerston North. Back with more right after this. First half tackles. The Australians 64, Mercer a massive 19, Hill just one behind, Bobby Linder by comparison, and Steve Walters only having to come up with 10 and 9. Meninga's influence has been very important. Just stretches up, and it's worked well with Daly back at 5'8". Brad Mackay off the bench to start the second 40. We await a fairly important man, the referee. We've got the two teams. Russell Smith. Just a little late. Referee talking to the Australians about squaring up in the play of the ball in the marker area. Not quite happy that they weren't directly in front in that situation. He goes back and reminds the captain about it, saying that he's going to crack down. We have an ear on the plate of the referee. He sends us down to the final 40 on an icy night in Palmerston North. Solomona loses it right from the start. New Zealand under pressure. Langer, they rush away. Clive back inside for Shearer. Backs to the wall again. Just what New Zealand did not need. Daly to go wide. They need a big 6 in defence. They rushed up and forced the Australians back about 15 metres. Lindner from dummy half runs well. Back on the inside for Fittler. He finishes 10 metres away. Langer is very wide. Behind the line. Well read. Right on the spot. Morgan Edwards.
Worst possible start for New Zealand with turning that ball over in the first tackle of the game. They had to do 127 tackles in the first half, and it looks like they're going to rack up another 127 this half.
They were looking for a good break. They don't get it as the Australians, right from the start, try to find overdrive.
Graham, Brad Mackay is on for Paul Sirenen, who's been replaced with a bad sore back.
Solomona. We saw that just before half-time when he was making a tackle. The kick is on to Shearer, but it is still play on inside New Zealand territory. This game is being played at one end of the field. Daly. Willie Kahn. They rush up. That is bustling defence. Lazarus. It is relentless at the moment. It is a green and gold machine driving away. Walters again. Too much room from dummy half.
But notice he's running with options. He's not just running one out.
Daly, Shearer, Langer, the jink, the step, and even a little bit of strength from a little man. Daly bombing away. This will definitely have ice on it for Edwards. Stands his ground.
That tackle looked high from Meninga.
Now Edwards is down. The Kiwis were calling for the high tackle. Crowd do not like it. 12 metres out now. Top. this will give them the chance. Very tough time since half-time.
Well, it hasn't been a tough time for the Kiwis. They've got to regather their troops, regather their senses, and come up with some good positive play. Gary Freeman there, he knows they're under the hammer. Toddy also got a lead by example from up the front.
Solomon drives away up the middle. Mercer.
I still think they're not running out of dummy half enough, Graham. They've got to run out of dummy half. They've got to dart. They've got to just try and disorganise this well-drilled Australian market offence.
A better variation from Gavin Hill as Tia Rapati gets a warm-up call. Watson loses an easy one.
That's more enterprising play, though, by New Zealand. They're starting to put on a few options. They're starting to change the angles a little bit, put a bit of doubt in the opposition's mind. Because one thing's for sure, their forwards aren't big enough and strong enough to be able to get through this Australian pack. They're not getting the momentum that Australia are.
Meninga gets rid of McCracken. 42 metres out. Now Lindner, still short of their own halfway. Langer uses a decoy runner to go to Mackay. McCracken covered in mud. Steve Walters. This is a repeat so far of the first 40. Langer trying to find some space. He's worrying the New Zealanders with his variation. Hoppy, not the same sort of opportunities as last Sunday at Mount Smart in Auckland. Crown trying to lift the home side.
And they're trying to remind the referee, the Australian defence, well, it's working very well. At times it's given itself a good start.
This time he grabs them. He couldn't hear the 19,000 here at Palmerston North, but somehow he heard Graham Love.
Well, I tell you what, if he didn't hear that, I was going to get up and yell out to him.
I'm not suggesting New Zealand hit the panic button yet, but they've got to start giving the ball a bit of air. OK, they've tried to play Australia up the middle. It's not working. Now's the time to give it a bit of air.
They wait for the reappearance of the ball.
All the good positive play in the first test came from wide play. Morven Edwards there, sad sight coming off. He's had a good game under pressure so far, Morven. Had 3 or 4 players running at him all night.
Time. Must be a tired pack of New Zealand forwards. They've got to dig deep. Still got to find something strong to get to the line. Solomon. They need the ball to come back into their own. The ball is stolen. Is it still alive? 6 more for New Zealand. Now, the referee goes to a touch judge to come up with a knock-on call against the Kiwis.
Yeah, he see Wallace straight for the ball and they play the ball. Yeah, a fellow was knocked on there by Dwayne Mann, and it's a tough break again for New Zealand. Not a lot of things going their way.
Well, I'll tell you what, Graham, you might think I'm biased from saying this, but the referee laid down the rule at half-time there. He told both sides he wanted them marking squarely. That wasn't marked squarely, that ball. It should have been a penalty to New Zealand.
I'd have to agree with Graham there. I thought that he wasn't marking up squarely, and there should have been a penalty to New Zealand.
No doubt about it. We were aware of what was said to Mal Meninga, so Mr. Smith forgot about it. Stops the clock as we try and find a football. Nearly every time they've gone over the sideline, we have had to wait. Freeman looking for a victory in his possible last appearance on Kiwi soil. Harrigan, still the arm wrestle, favours the Australians down the middle. Clyde.
Interesting to see Watson now playing in the fullback role. They're bound to put a good kick up to him and put him under pressure and just see how good he is at it.
Daly Tries to find a hole out on the fringe. Langer. Shearer. Kicks. Was it played at? Not back, said Russell Smith against Lazarus. It is still late in the count. Now it is the last. Langer to Meninga to kick ahead. Kicks this one along the deck. Watson. Watson with some rain. If they needed something to spark them, they have an opportunity.
Yeah, I watch Watson play fullback a lot in England, and if there's one thing he can do, that's bring the ball back. And if a chasing team isn't on the job and they go down to him in ones and twos, he'll bring the ball back and he can bring it back 50 yards.
Rapati gets his first touch. Out to prove a few people wrong after being put back to the bench from the first test. Dwayne Mann quickly to Freeman. Freeman not a good kick, and to an open wing to Hancock. This was danger in the first half. It was very nearly danger here. Shearer nearly always up in the front line. Right on halfway, Australia have it. Harrigan.
There we've got the good example of the problem with the New Zealand defence, all waiting for Harrigan. He's a big, strong runner, causes all sorts of havoc when you do meet him. If you wait back, it's a nightmare.
Good inside ball from Shearer. Now outside from Mackay. And Hancock takes 3 defenders to the 20 metres on the last tackle. Langer. Big test for Watson. Big test for Hoppy. What a climb by Willie Kahn. Back to the 20, says the Kiwis. Now, Russell Smith says it will be a restart right under the posts. Well, you can argue whether Kahn had it at first and then Hoppy grabbed it.
New Zealand a little unfortunate there on 2 occasions. One, I believe Willie Kahn was offside at the kick. And 2 was touch and go whether they're in goal or not.
He was adamant, Russell Smith. Now it's Australia with a chance to motor again.
He's certainly a marvellous athlete, though, Willie Kahn, to be able to get up like that. It was nearly a try reminiscent of a no-try in 1972. Australia versus France in a World Cup final with Graham Langland.
New Zealand going to have to be very careful here, Graham. They are getting up in front of the referee. Without any doubt, they're offside.
Right on the 20. They have to get back and up on deck quickly. Steve Walters. Linden put down this time by Willie Kahn. New Zealand with an important scrum feed.
Well, great defence from New Zealand then. That good, strong defence forced the error. That was the key. Good, strong defence.
Yeah, it's the hooker getting out of there again, and Bobby Linder forced the ball out there. The pass was never on. They still had another tackle up their sleeve.
Right on the 20, 7-2 Australia with the scrums. Still under pressure, though, even though they are in possession to bring it away. Todd.
They're under pressure because they're at the wrong end of the field. They've got to get better field position.
Not able to support each other enough through the forwards. They must be tired with all the tackling they have done. Mercer runs strongly.
Well, they've got Johnny Lomax sitting on the bench. I'll be bringing them on right now.
Freeman cuts a very high one. Now Freeman, to his credit, was quickly to his feet. The crowd incited by the incident. Russell Smith keeps his cool, so does Freeman.
Yeah, we see Mackay. He's hitting a little high. He's held on, you know, the tackle was high. I don't feel it's a sending off offence, but it was a high tackle and deserved the penalty.
A commendable action there by the little halfback, Gary Freeman. He got straight to his feet. A lot of other players would have stayed down and really milked it, but, I mean, that's a sign of a true sportsman.
Well, it's a line ball, and I think we've got to think about Winfield Cup. Michael, would that have been a send-off in the Winfield Cup?
I'd have to say yes, Graham.
I believe it would have been a send-off in the Winfield Cup. It was high. It was straight around the throat.
Mackay's still out there. We've still got 26. And again, we might have to call for some extra ball, boys.
Well, Graham Lowe, when are New Zealand going to go to their backs? I mean, you talk about field position, but they're unable to get it through hitting it up the forwards the way they are at the moment. They've got to start giving the ball a bit of air shortly, surely.
Yeah, well, they do. That's the way they turned Australia around in the first test. Even in their own quarter, they spun the ball out wide. That's what they've got to do.
Watson! They spill it, they put it down. Beautifully executed the move. They had the support players. It was just a final ball that was low and difficult to handle. Australia with a quick scrum, and Daly picks up about 15 metres. Shearer. Referee screaming. Shearer to get up and play it. Now Lazarus. Back to the defence, but he still picks up metres over the 50. Fittler. The Australians, no doubt, were stung at Mount Smart Stadium last Sunday. They've come back with some of their best. Meninga kicking, it will be too strong. Australia lead. Hopping. Takes them 30 metres out.
Redford is one forward that's making continual ground over the advantage line.
Tony Kemp. John Lomax gets that call to warm up again. Freeman with a ball that was a bit of a pressure one to Mercer. He had plenty of defenders just sweating on him.
But I think now is when they should just open it straight up.
Watson. Watson with a clever ball.
That's the one.
McCracken. Out to Sean Hoppy. Not a good ball. But they are starting to come to life. Gavin Hill with a kick that might be too strong. It is. McCracken needed the good ball for Hoppy. It was low and behind him.
Yeah, it's a nice long ball here, and just got to take a chance every now and then. That's what they've done. One of the forgotten guys of the test, McCracken, and Fittler on the other side. They haven't seen enough ball tonight.
Left it too late, McCracken.
Well, it was good enterprising play. That's what got them good plaudits in that first test. Every time Australia comes up with a big hit, all they need to do is open it out wide and disorganise the Australian defence.
The change has been made with Lomax out there and getting involved Gavin Hill, the man who has gone back to the bench.
Lomax might offer a little bit stiffer defence around that ruck area. I've been very critical. I'm going to be critical of the New Zealand props around the marker area. They're not moving up quick enough, and Lomax already getting heavily involved in the defensive work.
Mackay plays it. Fittler has a charge down. Watson gets it. The flow of play just breaking a little more for New Zealand. Good charge down. Rapani forced the turnover. Freeman, this crowd coming alive. Watson loses it. Meninga's there. Hoppy's there. Hoppy wins out. Mercer. Big efforts coming in this second 40 for New Zealand from the likes of Watson and Mercer, who are trying to spark things up. Todd takes it 40 metres out. Last tackle. Freeman bombs away, sends it down some distance. Shearer gets hammered. Quite a courageous take. Hancock straight across the paddock. Chased, put
Yeah, it's a great take. Dale Shearer doesn't take his eyes off the ball, and if I could be critical of both sides, the attackers haven't attacked that ball in the air. They've left it hanging up there for the fullbacks to catch, and somebody else has got to go for the ball, or good fullbacks will catch them all the time.
Shearer gets his return in, and there is plenty of chasing down on Dave Watson. Fittler, Daly, Clyde, Langer. Watson tries to get the outside. Too many. Great chase. Deep kick from Shearer. Halligan. New Zealand has to come a long way back. Rapati takes it to the 20. Kemp inside to McCracken. Gets rid of one. McCracken gets rid of two. Gets it out for Kemp. Kemp inside to Freeman. What a try! Gary Freeman sends this test into a real showdown. The world champs will again have to look over their shoulder. Forget about the conditions. This is a stunner. This is a magnificent rugby league try.
Well, great work from the Kiwis here. This is what was required. McCracken changing the angle, getting a ball, good ball from Kemp, shows his strength, shows his pace, shrugging off a couple of tacklers there. Great work again from Kemp to back up, getting himself in position, staying alive. Gary Freeman, he's the inspiration for this Kiwi side. He had to come up with something, and he's done it. He's put it under the black dot. How do you like that, Mr. Hughes?
Magnificent try. Freeman, who has had a very long test career, has had to wait a long time at 31 years of age to pick up his first try against Australia. Halligan from right in front. We've got a big test on our hands at Palmerston North. Look out. Plenty of rugby league left here in front of the capacity house. 12-8. Gary Freeman, the man who has put this test back up for grabs.
We were critical just not a long time ago of New Zealand not going to the backs earlier, trying to work it out through the forwards. Twice they've gone to their backs inside their own half, and twice they've come up with big plays, both involving McCracken, the second one involving a try to Gary Freeman.
Well, 19,000 here on a night that has struggled to raise above 5 or 6 degrees. We've had rain for hours before the kickoff. To the Kiwi fans, to the fans here in Palmerston North, they deserve a big rap as well. What a play, John Mooney.
Yeah, Jared McCracken, he's kicked out of a few tackles there. Tony Kemp very selective there. Outside or inside, good inside ball to Freeman. Freeman does the rest. Great try. We've got a ball game on our hands and the crowd's come alive.
We sure have got a ball game. And now we've finally got a ball that has come back to halfway. Meninga will have to pick up his world champs again. They were well and truly online. They were doing it well. But the Kiwis, after having to defend for so long, have found a try that has put this test up on the line.
And that man Lomax has made a tremendous difference since he's been on the field.
The Kiwis looking for a roll. Todd straight into the line. Lazarus with a good tackle. Lomax takes a turn in attack and takes them nearly to the 40. Under pressure. And Watson runs into some space. They've already got plenty of numbers down there. Shearer will think about returning the kick.
Andrew Eddinghausen just starting to warm up on the sideline, so look for an early replacement soon.
Shearer with a mile of time down to Watson, who will allow it to bounce. Halligan will put it down deep. That's a good kick to the pocket, right down to the corner. Shearer runs this one. Now New Zealand will storm in, trying to force the mistake.
And that was a good kick, all right, from Halligan, because not only did he kick it, he chased it, and he put all the New Zealand defenders onside.
Hancock with a good run.
He's having a good game tonight, Michael Hancock. He's a real handful in these conditions.
Meninga from dummy half, easy. Meninga down to Freeman. He shows him the sideline, but the big man stays in. Ettinghausen tries to get out there. Langer to Fittler. Fittler steps again. They let him go. Now he will play at 32 out. Langer. Langer behind the line. Right in midfield. Freeman and Langer come together. Daly looks for another field goal. Not this time. Out wide, Hoppy just allows it to go dead.
In the other test, in the first test, New Zealand's big problem in that test was they let Australia come back straight after they'd scored points. And they've just held on there, and that's probably a good sign from New Zealand.
Shearer goes to the bench, Ettinghausen at fullback. Dwayne Mann wins a little duel with Steve Walters. Freeman inside to Nikau. Hit strongly by Clyde, then finished off by Harrigan.
I think Nikau would be better off staying out wider. Gary Freeman giving them the ball 2 or 3 off the side off the ruck. They're the tactics that should be used at the moment. This Australian defence down the middle, they're all monsters and they're working well tonight. We've already shown out wide, that's where the opportunities are for the Kiwis.
Willie Kahn. Michael O'Connor, not an easy one for a man like Ettinghausen to be sitting there so long sideline then to get out there.
No, but he's done it before, and he's a big match player. I'm sure he'll do it again. Mal Meninga's really got to come into the game, as has Laurie Daly. He's been quiet in the first test and pretty quiet up until now. Another player, Fittler. I mean, these players have now got to get involved. The forwards have laid a good foundation. They've got to start doing something.
Steve Walters showed it inside. McCracken was there, got it to Meninga, looks forward. Last tackle. The Kiwis starting to grow a leg. Langer looks for the sideline. He settles it down with a fine kick. Langer showed all his experience. About 14 minutes remaining.
The kick there from Alfie Langer, that was what was required from Australia. Howie Carney certainly looks on the edge there, having a bit of a powwow. But the Kiwis have got to respond with good wide passing. A very short defensive line there, as you can see from the Australian outside backs, does offer inviting opportunities out wide.
The rain is tumbling down again. Thankfully, it had stayed away for most of the game. Now Lomax right up the middle.
He's a very deceptive player, Lomax, not a very tall man, but very strong on his feet.
Russell Smith gets the Australians back at Big Ten. Down for Ettinghausen. Off his head. Gary Freeman gets a free ride. Hancock.
Probably
Again, it's Freeman.
New Zealand probably be better off kicking out of the dummy half area, I think, or up from the line. They're throwing the ball back 20 metres. They could have been 20 metres further down the field if they were kicking from further up on the line.
Langer switches. Langer! Nearly gone. Just grabbed by Mercer. Steve Walters loses it. He got it back in the end.
Well, I think New Zealand very fortunate here because Nikau, I believe, had a crack at the ball.
Steve Walters looked as though he might have been held back as well, but that rain is really tumbling down. Halligan. sweat and tears tonight in Palmerston North, but for who? Is it going to be the Kiwis or the Kangaroos? Dwayne Mann absolutely covered him. Lazarus, eyes on the opposite Todd. This time they're taken by Clyde and Harrigan. New Zealand looking for a try to lock us up. 30 metres out. Todd again. The play is opened up to a big back line. Freeman. Kemp. They go to the midfield. Freeman again. Floating. Watson. McCracken, who has been a handful. And still. He gets pulled back. It'll be a penalty. He was pulled back by Lazarus. There was the knock on there before it.
Yeah, I thought he knocked the ball on before he was actually pulled back. He got some penalties like this in the first test. He places the ball down on the way up, which gives him a start, but that's where the fumble has come in.
Still got pulled back out of it. Russell Smith stayed with the original knock on. They need some mistakes from the Australians. They're trying to force one at this end.
We're well into the last quarter of this game, Graham, and there's a lot of talent in this Australian side. The experience that they all bring with them.
A high tackle against Nikau.
The experience that brings with them should add to a big advantage. I don't think there was a lot of Nikau jumping up. Bit of a nitpicking penalty in my opinion, but that's through black and white eyes.
This game's going to go right down to the line. The New Zealanders are talking. They've got a renewed enthusiasm at the moment. Australia a little bit slower to get back into position, and they're just trying to wind down the clock a bit, which is a concern.
Again, the delay from the sidelines.
Michael, do you think the Australians should keep throwing the ball wide?
Well, they haven't been, Graham. In the second half, they've been content just to take it up the middle. They showed early in the first half that they were prepared to throw the ball wide.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They threw it wide early, and that's when they made all their breaks. This second half, they seem to have come down the middle.
Yeah, I'd agree with that assessment.
Harrigan. 35 metres out. Mackay. Time for New Zealand. Australia trying to count the clock down. They are at the right end at the moment. Langer rushes the short side. Langer. Fine game from the Queensland halfback. One more tackle. Fittler will bomb away. Should be too easy into the end goal. Halligan stands his ground. Quick restart. New Zealand have met with success going wide. Watson to Tony Kemp. Does well to stay in the field of play. Solomona. Right near halfway. Freeman. Watson. Bad ball. It is all the way back, and Australia will have possession. Not a good set of six for New Zealand.
No, that's always a problem when you play a very, very deep back line in your own half. A little bit of poor execution, you come up with a big loss. And, you know, they've got to take a few chances. They've got to give the ball some air. But, you know, the back line on that occasion is just too deep.
Steve Wallace. Langer. Loose ball. Bailey gets it. Tudor tried to get there quickly. Meninga. He forced the Australians wide to the sideline last tackle. Daly wants it. Midfield. Watson rushes up. And Watson gets it. And Russell Smith says Brad Fittler was inside the 10 in front of the kicker. Halligan just manages to reach the sideline. Watson has had a strong second half. Todd still powering up the middle. New Zealand lose it just when they don't need to. They give it back on early tackles.
Well, that was a critical turnover for New Zealand. They really needed to hold on to possession there. And Australia, I think, will just play out their tackles and play field position, and they should be in a position now to win this game with only 5 or 6 minutes on the clock.
Langer nearly getting behind the line again. Steve Walters. Last tackle against the Australians. Langer, Meninga. Chips ahead to Eddinghausen. And Eddinghausen is ruled offside along with Clyde. Clyde can't believe it. Shakes his head. Wasn't sure if Eddinghausen overrun it. He was the player I was more concerned with. Bobby Lindner in what could be his last test match for Australia on foreign soil. Is there time? Solomona inside the last 5. Freeman wide. Lomax out to Hoppy. Hoppy straightens. There's 32 out. Kent inside. Watson. It will be a line dropout, a restart. Tudor went down. I wasn't sure if he was knocked over. They're back inside their own end goal.
I think the referee's under a lot of pressure at the moment because I don't know how you saw it, John. I thought the Australian outside backs were well up offside in that last lot of 6 tackles. A lot of pressure on the referee.
Well, it always is. It's come down to, you know, there's a couple of minutes to win the game here or lose the game, and you know, I hope it's not done by an incorrect decision by a referee.
Tudor fumbles. Freeman looked despondent. Australia out near a sideline. They were thinking about showing him, but Lazarus stays well in field.
And he has been one of Australia's best, Lazarus. Got them over the advantage line, but not only that, he's managed to play the ball quickly.
This is where they have to make it count. They've got to force a short kick from Australia. They've got to have pressure on the kicker. Harrigan with a big run. And a great ball. Likewise, Alan Langer. Australia trying to finish it with a try. Trying to put paid to it. Langer on the 20. Fittler. Daly. taken by Mercer, who has tried non-stop. Langer, stepping, back up the middle, beats a second man, kicks to the in goal, but it's back to the 20. We're down to the wire. There are few chances remaining. 12-8 to Australia. They have had a real struggle on their hands again. Solomona. They keep it alive. Kent to Watson, who has been a danger. Watson with great stepping. They found some holes again, but they lose it. Jason Donnelly out there. Dying minutes. Bad ball at the end again.
Well, they've got to play catch-up football. They did find the holes. They found the space. But unfortunately, the balls didn't stick.
We've got somebody in the blood bin, Solomona. This will force somebody back out there. Now, Solomona can't stay. Referee should be checking whether he has to stay off for good. Now, is he happy that the blood has stopped? He is. Daly. .45 out. Langer has had a tremendous second half. Australia just where they want to be. New Zealand have to go a long way, and the clock is ticking away. Lazarus, who? Well, I was going to say, would Watson be able to stop him? He was put off balance by Tudor. Daly! Daly! Beautiful ball! It's gone! Right at the death. This is unbelievable. We've got a crowd standing along the sideline. Somebody has got to start thinking about some security over here. We've got spectators all over the sideline, but we've got a great Australian try.
Well, Marcus tried down to Glenn Lazarus. He's the one who charged onto the ball, set up the initial break, but Laurie Daly capitalising on a great backline play that they do possess, the Australian team, throwing a great long pass out there to Michael Hancock, but as you say, the spectators too close there.
Great ball out from Daly. This has been a real test of character for the Australians after last Sunday as well. Great second half from New Zealand, but an equally strong finish to the line by the world champions. Meninga to take over the kick from right out on the sideline.
Well, world champions is a name they carry very proudly, Australia. They are the world champions. They've got the best players in the world. It was a gallant effort from New Zealand tonight, but unfortunately they couldn't get enough field position. That's been the thing that's killed them in the air.
Meninga drags it well to the left. 16-8. Great effort. Meninga back, as I said earlier, Louis, to really steer this ship home.
Well, he is the world's premier player, in my opinion. A lot of people put up other players as the game's number one, but Mal Meninga, to me, is the premier player in the world tonight. He has come back and responded in the captain's role, and he's done a good job. He's led this Australian side well.
I can't believe that somebody in the league over here hasn't got control of balls. The players are trying to play an 80-minute game, and we have got delay after delay for the ball back into play. Unbelievable in driving rain for two test teams to be standing around and waiting for a restart. Russell Smith can't even find a football to finish the test. The players trying to keep warm. Meninga can't believe it. Brent Todd is really letting them all know about what he thinks about the situation. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, the standard of play has improved in New Zealand without any doubt. They've possessed some of the world's best players. They put up a gallant effort tonight, but it's got to be matched with game control.
We'll be back when we find a football. We still have no football. We've got a test match, but we've got no football.
Let's go.
We'll take a break for another look. We should. Now we've got Gary Freeman and Meninga about to speak to the referee. Now Freeman is speaking to the referee. Can you believe it? A test match might be called off by the captains. Dying moments of the game. Freeman is going to recommend that we leave the field to the end. Now, what's happening? How much time is left? They're probably discussing. There is only seconds remaining. Gary Freeman shaking hands. Unfortunately, for what has been a gripping second half, we're going to end it in a disgrace. Who's going to make a decision out here? The referee is explaining to the captains. He knows it's probably silly, but he's got to play to the 80 minutes. Lowy, you haven't got any spare balls in the back of your car.
Yeah, well, I have, I suppose, but I don't think I can kick one down that far.
Quite amazing.
One thing for sure, Graham, I think we're going to have a great crowd at Lang Park next Wednesday night. It has been a good performance by the Kiwis.
The roar, as you would expect, is for a little piece of leather. Darryl Halligan has a mate somewhere who's found one. There is 5 seconds to play out, and the last 5 seconds has taken about 6 minutes. There's going to be one tackle, and then we're off the field. The crowd is all inched to the sideline. Let's hope they give the players some room. They'd like to pay tribute to 19,000 who have turned up in unbelievable conditions. But security and control will come under scrutiny again, just as it did at the finish at Mount Smart Stadium. The kick is in from Daly. Apparently this was also the story against Great Britain in the home series last season. Someone's got to take a hand. The players look as though they're going to have to battle to the dressing rooms. Great comeback from New Zealand. The players try and rush off the ground. And a real test at Palmerston North for the world champs again. Lang Park will be a tough one also next Wednesday night.